Grown Man Business TV. You feel what I'm saying? Now listen, man, you could tap in or you could tap out, but you know my slogan, you know what I suggest, and I suggest you tap in. So let's get right into it. Now you already know time and energy are the highest forms of currency, my G's. I know they got you out here chasing the bag, chasing that money and chasing that paper, stacking that cheese, that cheddar, and that mozzarella. But always keep it in the front of your mental Rolodex that time and energy are the highest forms of currency, my G's, at all times. Is what it is, and it'll be what it's going to be, all right? Now, big salute to all my day one investors, everybody that's highly invested in the channel, everybody that understands that we are growing this channel organically, constant elevation gear. We on our way to the top, well over 50,000 subscribers, and we are on our way to 60K, all right? Even bigger salute to all my newcomers, all my new investors, and all my new subscribers, everybody that's making their way to the Realest channel on YouTube. Yours truly, Grown Man Business TV, is what it is, and it'll be what it's going to be. All right, now look, man, do me a favor. Wipe off your feet before you step into the big house. You understand me? Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Make sure your notification bells are ringing loud and clear every time you step foot in the Realest channel on YouTube, which is yours truly, Grown Man Business TV. Is what it is, and it'll be what it's going to be. You know how I'm giving it up, and you absolutely know how I'm putting it down, my G's. Now, listen, man. I got a lot of people in the DMs right now. Yo, Big G and BTV, what's your perspective on the whole situation with the Jay-Z and the GQ interview? You know, Big G and BTV, you know, what's your thought process on everything that's going down between Jay-Z, GQ, and that interview they just dropped? I gotta say it, my G's, absolutely nasty work. You feel what I'm saying? It's nasty work at how they construct these interviews. You know, it's Jay-Z, Jehovah, Sean Carter, whatever you want to call them. And, you know, it's very few far in between where you get a chance to see Jay speak or, you know, get his opinion or his perspective on any situation. So it's really disheartening, right? When you get a dude like Jay, you know what I mean, Sean Carter, in an interview, and it's very obvious that they constructed the interview to go a certain way. You feel what I'm saying? They manipulated the questions to make it go a certain way. Like, you got to be real about this. It's almost like Jay-Z was interviewing himself. You know, it was a young black man that was interviewing Jay, and it just really felt like Jay-Z was interviewing himself. You feel what I'm saying? And a lot of people is in the DM, they want me to speak on it. So we gonna go into this. We gonna have this conversation, but I want to say this before we go any further, right? I want to say this, right? Like, you know, a lot of people are speaking about Jay and against Jay for, you know, some type of underlying disdain for Jay. You know, a lot of people have a personal disdain against Jay-Z. And I just want to make sure that we understand, like, Grown Man Business TV, I don't have no personal dislike or disdain for Jay-Z. You know, I literally grew up listening to his product, listening to his music. And we spoke about this with the La Russell situation, how there's nothing wrong with you speaking on a celebrity or a businessman or whatever. Anybody that's selling something that you have invested into, anybody that's selling a product that you have, you know, purchased, you can speak to that product. You know what I mean? So I'm not speaking to Jay personally because I don't know him. But I am one of the ones that was around when, you know, Reasonable Doubt all the way to present time. I was active. I was outside. I was present. You understand what I'm saying? So it's only right that I get my perspective on these situations. You know what I mean? Is what it is, and it'll be what it's going to be. I was never a fan of nobody, but I was a high investor in the discography of Jay-Z, Sean Carter, Jehovah, whatever you want to call them. All right? So is what it is, and it'll be what it's going to be. But I wanted to put that out there because, again, a lot of people have an underlying disdain or a personal dislike for Jay-Z. Me, it's more of a disappointment. It's more of an investor that's disappointed in the final product. All right? So we're going to dissect this interview. Big salute. We came in a little bit earlier tonight. You know what I mean? We kind of shifting the algorithm a little bit. We baiting the algorithm a little bit. Is what it is, and it'll be what it's gonna be. Now listen, before we get any further, before I give y'all this pure dope straight off the brick into the bottles, before I do that, before we cook up this pure dope and I give it to you straight off the brick into the bottles, I got to do some customizations to the chat. I got to customize the chat, my G. Now listen, listen, listen. The higher ups and the elites are always playing chess at the highest level. The higher ups and the elites are always trying to muffle the message and shadow ban the channel. Absolutely. The higher ups and the elites understand that Grown Man Business TV is an absolute threat to the establishment. Not only am I a threat to the establishment, but the revolution will be televised right here in these YouTube streets. Is what it is, and it'll be what it's going to be. Like it or love it. The downloads have downloaded. We're going to have a conversation, and I want y'all to, I want y'all to give me y'all thought process. Tell me what y'all think in the chat. As we go through this interview, I want y'all to engage. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah, we gonna get into that. And I see you right there, homie. You must be new to the channel. No worries. Yeah, definitely invested. Definitely invested. I'm talking from reasonable doubt all the way to 444. And see, what you got to understand is you might be small-minded. You might not be able to think outside the box. But investment is not all financial. It's not about just investing money. You typing in my chat right now mean you are investing your time and your energy. And that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, just you typing that in my live right now is you investing your time and your energy, okay? And those are the highest forms of currency. See what I'm saying? You know, a lot of these people are so broke that all they got is money. Don't let that go over your head or under your bridge. But a lot of you dudes, a lot of you people are so broke that all you got is money. So all you think is, oh, you ain't invested in nothing. You in the right place, my G. Don't worry. Let's customize this chat. Let's get this thing underway. Salute to everybody in the DMs that really want my perspective on this situation. Y'all really, Jay is Jay. I've been speaking on Jay throughout my channel, throughout, the process of growing this channel organically. Jay has become the topic of discussion, being as though he is the biggest, he is the greatest rapper of all time. He is that. You feel what I'm saying? He has become the topic of discussion with him walking through the door and just different issues, different situations that come about. So it's only right that we speak to this, you know what I mean? And it is what it is, and it'll be what it's going to be. Jay-Z did a GQ interview, and it was nasty work, if you ask me. Absolutely disgusting. I was disappointed. You know what I mean? But we're going to talk about that. Big salute to the chat. You already know what time it is, man. You already know what you're doing. You already know where you at. You see that right there. Right there. Right there. Right there at the bottom of it. It's right here at the bottom of the chat. Right there. Before you get in here with your Twitter fingers, using your Twitter fingers all in the comment section, twittering away with your Twitter fingers. I mean, all in the comment section, using your Twitter finger to do the twittering all in. Yeah, with your Twitter fingers. Make sure you hit the like button, the subscribe button, and make sure you tuned in and tapped into the Realest channel on YouTube. Yours truly, Grown Man Business TV. Yeah, I see y'all already. Y'all making y'all way to the comment section. Your Twitter fingers is working overtime. I respect that. All engagement is good engagement. That's what you'll learn about YouTube. In these YouTube streets, all engagement. Good comments, bad comments. The like button or the dislike button. It don't matter. It's all engagement. Okay? Jay-Z. Let's talk about the homie J-Hova, S. Carter, whatever you want to call him. Recently does an interview with GQ where he addresses a few things, allegations. He speaks on the situation with, he was accused of certain things being done at these parties that they've been talking about. He spoke about the music. He spoke about the Super Bowl. He spoke about Drake and Kendrick. He spoke about a few things, and I went through the interview. I listened to it, and I picked out a couple of different topics that he spoke on that we'll elaborate on. Okay? And like I said before, I wanted to make it known that this the thing, right? These celebrities, we don't know these celebrities. I don't know you dudes personally. So it is not a personal issue with me or any of these celebrities. That's what make this situation beautiful, because it's not, when it's personal, that's when it get messy. That's when you really can't take the word of somebody that's taking something personal. Yeah, it's hard for you to take the word of somebody that is speaking from a personal standpoint. That's why it's hard to listen to a baby mama or a scorned woman, because she's personally invested in the situation. So she's speaking from, hurt feelings. She's speaking from a personal perspective. Here at Grown Man Business TV, it's nothing personal, it's all business. So when I speak to these situations, it ain't trying to tear somebody down or assassinate their character on that level, but it is what it is, and it'll be what it's gonna be. The truth is the truth. If you like it or if you love it, if you like it or if you dislike it, the truth remains the truth. And when it come to Jay-Z, it's a lot of truth that's gonna assassinate his character. But it's a lot of things he did as well that I'm gonna speak about. It ain't gonna be a bashing Jay-Z situation. It can't be a bashing Jay-Z situation, because I tell y'all this all the time. We speak about this, right? Yin and yang. You understand what I'm saying? You got good and you got bad. That is in every aspect of life. That is for every person walking God's green earth. It's a yin and a yang. It's a good and a bad. It's a positive and a negative. It's a evil and it's a, you got both sides of this. Jay-Z is no different. So we're going to kind of speak to both sides of this. Y'all already know about the higher ups and the elites. We already know Jay has walked through the door. Jay has been, he has the biggest influence over the culture, over the urban community, and he has been used as a tool for years now. We know that. We know that Jay had everybody drinking Cristal. Jay told us we wasn't kneeling no more. Jay had everybody drinking Douce. Jay had everybody wearing button-up shirts. We already know the influence of Jay-Z. We already know a lot of the negative, but I want to speak to both angles. I want to speak to the good and the bad. Yeah, I used to, highly invested in a discography. Hey, listen, man, don't get me started. We gonna get into this. Big salute to the chat. Let's make sure y'all know where y'all at and what we doing. One thing for sure, two things for certain. I kept the receipts, and I don't go nowhere without the receipts. So I absolutely got some receipts that we gonna get into. Big salute to Trooper 69. I see you in here. Big wrenches. OG. OG Kicks. I see you in here. You know what I mean? We shape shifting how we like to do with this algorithm. We baiting the algorithm. All right. And again, Jay is only a man. Jay is not Jehovah. Jay is not. He's not God. He might be God body, but he's not the Most High. You feel me? None of these people are. Nobody is the Most High. You feel me? So we gonna talk about this, and we got to make sure that we keep that in mind, that these celebrities are regular humans, regular people. Some of them might be reptilians, and some of them might be this, and some of them might be that. But at the end of the day, none of them is the Most High. Nobody's above. Nobody's above the Most High. All right, so let's get into this first receipt. Big salute to the chat. Let's do this. I thought this was a very interesting interview by Jay. I thought that this interview says a lot when you got a man that is worth $2.8 billion and he's still, constructing interviews. He's still picking and choosing the questions that you ask. He still don't want to be held to the fire. $2.8 billion and you still don't have no power. Let's talk about it. Go ahead and talk to the people, Hov. Look.
Acceptance of that concept, though. I read a lot of books earlier, Seed of the Soul, Celestine Prophecies, and, all these different books. And I was picking up all these gems and jewels on the way. But I was also 26 when I came in, and I lived a lot of life in those 26 years. Marcy to Trenton, New Jersey, to Cambridge, Maryland, to Newport News, Virginia. I met all sorts of people, been in all sorts of situations. And I came out without a scratch.
Now, you already know, I'm going to stop it right there. Before we get real deep and we scratch the surface, I want to just point out that he said Trenton, New Jersey, Cambridge, Maryland, and he said Newport News, Virginia. And I just wanted to point that out for all my New Yorkers. All my New Yorkers in the DM, yo, you got hate for New York City, New York, blah, blah, blah. Nah. Yeah, Virginia, we are vital to this culture, my G. And it ain't no hate towards New York City, but I'm going to stand down for Virginia. I'm representing that 757, and I'm going to make you respect it. Yeah, we are no longer in the days where New Yorkers could just talk crazy and act like you got to be from New York, because one thing for sure and two things for certain, all of the greats make their way down south. If New York was so good and there was so much money in New York City, and New York City is the Big Apple and it's the Mecca, why y'all always end up in the 757? I want to give a big salute to Jay for even putting that out there. You know what I'm saying? No need to hide the fact that you went from New York City to Newark, New Jersey, to Cambridge, Maryland, to Newport News, Virginia. Bad news. Big salute to Bad News. Big salute to Hampton, Norfolk, Chesapeake, Portsmouth. Yeah, Vibe Beach and all that. The 757. And I just wanted to, y'all should already know I was gonna stop on that. I was gonna shine some light on that. Yeah, we not gonna bypass that. Like he ain't get. Is what it is, and it'll be what it's gonna be. You know what I'm saying? Biggie was in Virginia before he was Biggie. Yeah. Alpo was down there in Virginia Beach having a ball. All of you, y'all got to make your way to that big VA. All right? And don't ever get it twisted. You know what I'm saying? The New Yorkers we allowed to come through there and get some money is because we allowed y'all to. It wasn't no New Yorkers taking nothing in Virginia. Let's move forward. Let's let Jay go ahead and talk to the people, Jay. Look.
Never been to jail.
3 shots never touched me.
3 shots never touched me. I came out unscathed. It was very rare. And I was always curious after that. Once you reach that part, like I've had the living, and now I'm like, man, why did that happen? I'm always questioning, like, why did that happen? Why did it happen that way?
Okay, now we getting somewhere. Now, I'm going to say this again, right? In this interview with the editing, with the changing of the clothes, you know, the in-betweens where they was doing the smoke, and it was just so weird to me. You know, that part of it was so weird to me. You know, I really wanted to speak to that. It's like all this smoke and mirrors when it come to this interview. It's like all this illusion they're doing. You feel what I'm saying? It's like we don't need Jay-Z posing and wearing masks and smoke all around. We don't need the theatrics. You know what I'm saying? We simply want to hear Jay talk that grown man business, that billionaire hove. You know what I'm saying? Like, again, the downloads downloaded, and it's so weird looking at Jay, knowing that he is at $2.8 billion, and you can look at him and tell he don't have no authority over the situation. He don't have it, and it's R.I.P. to Tupac Shakur, but I remember Tupac Shakur dissing Jay-Z, and I remember saying back in those days, I felt like Tupac was hating, but I stand corrected. Tupac was able to see in the future. Tupac saw something in Jay-Z that I couldn't see at that time. Tupac was a visionary. He saw the weakness in Hove, bro. Again, we gonna get deep into this, but listening to Jay, watching Jay, looking at this interview, it's like, man, I wish If I was a part of the PR team, the public relations teams, I would have, yo, Joe, Hove, let X all that out, okay? All of that smoke and mirrors is to hide the fact that the real questions are not going to be asked. The real questions, and we're going to get into that. They skipped over the real questions. All right, big salute to the chat. Mr. Universe, I see you in here. Miss Lovelace, I see you in here. Big Wrenches. Let's get back into this interview. Yeah, let's get back into it. But again, let's not forget Newport News, Big VA. Oh yeah, we all over. We have been contributing to the culture for a long, long time. Yeah. Talk to the people, Jay. Look.
What's going on with you in a broader sense in the culture, like on Universal Soldier? I think it is when you said that you don't keep the same energy for the DuPonts and the Carnegies.
Yeah.
So I wanted you to talk a little bit about this idea of like you said earlier, like the things that you do for the culture, the ways that you put on, the ways that you try to protect and move forward, but kind of the pushback that you get sometimes about like people throw capitalists at you in a derogatory sense.
Yeah, I think in that verse specifically, the only thing I heard coming up was the American dream until we started being successful. And it was like, wait a minute, you're selling out because you're making money. That was the first thing that was put on musicians. People had this law for the struggling artists. That's a mind game, what we would call back in the day for tricknology. It was like, no, I'm not going for that. Like, no, I make art first. And then I make sure that I'm compensated for my art.
I want to stop hold right there. You know, the DuPonts and the Carnegies. Now, you know, again, a lot of this is gonna go over a lot of people's heads. It's gonna go under their bridge, and it just bypasses them. But when he said the DuPonts and the Carnegies, it really resonated with me. I remember when I was younger, I used to watch a lot of National Geographics, and I used to watch a lot of History Channel. And one night I was watching History Channel, and a whole documentary about Andrew Carnegie came on. And I learned a lot about who he was as a businessman, how he got super rich back in them days in the 1900s and all of that, and what was going on back in them days. So I thought that it was dope that he brought that name up, Andrew Carnegie. Before we go any further, I just want to bring y'all up to date. I want to give y'all some context. I want y'all to be on the same playing field that I'm on when you hear these names and then you hear him talking about. Because we're going to talk about what he's talking about. All right, but I want you to let's get into this receipt right here, and let me give y'all some quick game on Andrew Carnegie, dog fur having Andrew Carnegie. All right, big salute to the chat. Let's get into it. Look.
Andrew Carnegie was one of the richest men to have ever lived. His steel company, Carnegie Steel, became one of the largest and most profitable in the world, but had one of the worst and brutal working conditions at the time. Laborers had to work on 12-hour workdays, 7 days a week with little to no safety measures. Despite Carnegie having immense wealth and fortune, workers were paid very low wages, and as a result, they often had to work extra jobs just to feed their families. And there is an even more darker side to his philanthropy than you might imagine. Want to know more about the story? Watch our full video on Andrew Carnegie in the pinned comment.
Andrew Carnegie was a guy that was competing with the DuPont family and the Rockefeller family. See, you know about the Rockefellers, you know about the DuPonts, but dudes like Andrew Carnegie is guys that you really just got to know your due diligence. You got to know your knowledge to be able to know about these guys and how they made massive amount of money. And they was robbing the employees. You know, he made 500 million back in the early 1900s, but his employees was broke. You feel what I'm saying? So, you know, when dudes like Andrew Carnegie or the DuPont family are raping the system and taking advantage of tax breaks and getting rich and gaining generational wealth by stepping on their people, nobody says nothing. But when Jay does it, right, when Jay-Z does it, that's when it becomes a problem. And that's what he was kind of talking to and speaking to, right? When Jay does it, it's an issue, right? So I wanted to just give y'all that game right there when he compares it to Andrew Carnegie, right? Then Jay says you're selling out when you amass a certain amount of money. And I wanted to speak to that, right? Like, this is the word semantics. This is the smoke and mirrors that I'm talking about. Because nobody says that you sell out when you make a certain amount of money. That's not the narrative. The narrative is when you start doing certain things once you get that money, or on the way to becoming wealthy, you doing songs like Picasso where you in there dancing with spirit cookers. You know, you got the Rockefeller sign, you got the all seeing eye, you doing all these different things to show the higher ups and elites that you with them, but you think it's going over our head and under your bridges, and it's not. You feel what I'm saying? So it's not about the money that you get, it's about what you do when you get the money. It's about the silence when you get the money. How you get billions of dollars and you ain't running nothing. You got billions of dollars, respectfully, whatever. You understand what I'm saying? And you still a puppet for them people. So I just wanted to speak to that, right? It has never been about the money. We have supported artists and rappers and celebrities, right? We have supported them and put them in positions to be wealthy because we believed, even back in the day, that if a Jay-Z or a Tupac or a Biggie, right? If one of these dudes can get $1 billion, then they'll probably liberate the people. They'll turn around and liberate the hood that they rapping about. They'll turn around and liberate the ghetto that they rapping about. And then only to sit back and watch these dudes get hundreds of millions of dollars, if not billions, and they still puppets. That's where the miscommunication come at. That's where the problem come in at. When we watch you go from reasonable doubt all the way to billionaire Hove, and in between, all you did was sell out the Brooklyn Nets, help some other Russians and some white people get some money, and you still a puppet. You ain't caused a revolution. You ain't liberated nah, homie. So again, this is nasty work. If you could see through the smoke and mirrors, if you could really look at this and see that Jay-Z is interviewing himself, homie is just regurgitating the questions that Jay already put in front of him and told him, these the questions you gonna ask, these the questions you not gonna ask, and that's it. Again, RIP to Tupac. He saw something in Jay that it took me longer to see. I could only imagine if Tupac Shakur was still alive with $2.8 billion, what might be going on American soil for black people in the urban community. With a real soldier, a grown man like Tupac, to amass 2.8 billion? Nah. That is what it is, and it'll be what it's gonna be. Let's let Jay talk. Big salute the whole man. Talk that talk over. Let's see. Look.
I didn't take advantage. I didn't get here by taking advantage of people. I didn't take it. No one. That's not my reputation. That's not what I do. I didn't get here by taking advantage of people or taking advantage of, the loopholes in the system or some wrinkle in a capitalist structure. That structure exists. And I just see the world for what it is, not for what I want it to be. I'm a realist, not an ideal. It's not idealistic. People speak about the world how they want to see it. You're never going to win like that.
People speak about the world on how they want to see it, and you're never going to win like that. Yeah. Again, listen to the word semantics. I never stole from nobody. I never robbed nobody. I didn't take advantage of anybody to get in the position I'm in. And then look at the track record. Look at the track record of Rockefeller Records. Look at the track record of the artists on Rockefeller Records for the most part. They all have stories. They all have a narrative of Jay taking something. You know what I'm saying? Jay doing backdoor activity. You know what I'm saying? Leaving with this, taking that, penny pinching off these rhymes. Listen to Oskino. Listen to Dame Dash. Look at the situation with Biggs Burks. Look at all the artists that was under Jay that he had to step on. He had to rob. He had to take advantage of. And then to get on this interview and not fully address that. To just, sugarcoat it like, no, I've never done that. That's not my character. Nobody, nah, that's your pattern. I just feel like, it ain't even about what I feel, right? From the outside looking in, from a grown man perspective, I'm saying to myself, bro, you worth $2.8 billion. Get in the fire a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Let us see you get in the fire and and talk your talk. Talk your way out the fire. Yeah, let's talk about Beans. Let's talk about Oskino. Let's talk about Dame. All these names, D Haven, all these names that could have been brought up. Real conversations that you avoided just to, I don't know, save face. I don't know really. I don't even really know the point of what this is because the real questions was avoided. When you went from New York City to Newark, New Jersey, to Cambridge, Maryland, to Newport News, Virginia, it was a dude by the name of D Haven that was spearheading that whole situation. He was spearheading that whole operation. You was a worker in that operation. Why not bring his name up? Why not address that? Why put it out there like you went from New York to Virginia on your own merit? Why not tell the truth? You didn't take nothing. You didn't do nothing. Why not address Dame when you brought that? Why this young man didn't ask the real questions? And again, you amass all this wealth, you amass all this money just to still look soft or look vulnerable. How you got 2.8 billion in assets and liquidation money and you still look vulnerable? You still seem like you dodging and ducking and you don't really want the real conversation. You just want to. It's nasty work. Absolutely nasty work. Big salute to the chat. Let's get into another receipt right here. Let's see where we at. Let's let them keep talking. But it get deep, it get wicked, and it's always deeper than rap. I mean, even GQ. Why go to GQ? GQ is not the culture. GQ don't have no motion in the culture. We are not looking to GQ for interviews. We only went there because you went there, but you could have really stimulated the algorithm. You could have really did something for the culture. We're going to talk more about that as well. Talk to the people, Hov. Look.
Something just now, though, about you pushing independence, right? Kind of like in the spirit of Prince. When you embody that, do you feel like you are kind of setting a mold or leading a charge for, like, what the successful black man is allowed to do? And, like, breaking these spaces, breaking these confines?
Yeah. I even want you to take that out of your vocabulary.
Take what?
Allowed. You know what I'm saying? We're not allowed to do anything. In order for someone to allow you, they have to have authority over you. Mm-hmm. No one has authority over us. We exist like everyone else here. No one can allow us to do anything. But that word comes from a real space. And I want to eliminate all those type of words for us.
Yeah.
Yes. So the answer to that is yes.
When you're on a mission to eliminate words like allow, like you said, do you feel like that makes you a target sometimes from?
Oh yeah, for sure. 100%. What's the Nipsey thing? Pray for me, y'all. One day I'm gonna have to pay for these thoughts. Real niggas is extinct. It ain't safe for me, my dog. These are real fucking lyrics.
You've come back to that a lot in the last few years. Like the more I reveal me, the more they will kill me. Stuff like that. When you say they, like, who is that?
Now I want to stop right there. First, I want to say big salute to big. I want to say this right. Again, these celebrities are only men. Jay is only a man, right? So it's never all bad. It's never all evil. It's never all the higher ups. It's never all negative. You know what I'm saying? And in this interview, I did peep Jay dropping like gems. You know what I mean? You know, he don't want the young man to use the word allowed, because the word allowed means that somebody has an authority over you, and there's nobody with an authority over us. That's what Jay's saying. You know what I mean? And I respected that. I like how he pinpointed that, and he put that into the universe, if he believes it or not, right? I thought that was a gem. And there's a couple of other gems I'm gonna point out as well that Jay said. At the end of the day, right? All the negative aside, if we look at the positive, Jay is a black man that comes from the projects. He came from exactly what we came from, and maneuvered his way through an industry to where he has amassed multi-billion dollars. You know what I mean? And along that way, you're going to pick up certain phrases, certain terms, certain gems that you're going to just be able to say. Like, that was a gem right there. Like, words are spells. We already know that. You got to watch what you say. You never hear me say we aren't allowed to do anything. I didn't get that from Jay. I just know that words are spells. So even when I'm talking about the higher ups and the elites, I'm never saying that they allow us. You know, more about they trap us, they trick us, the construct, the matrix. Okay? Now, the young man is about to ask Jay-Z. He says, when you say allow in X, Y, and Z, he's about to ask Jay, who is they? All right? I want y'all to listen. We're going to double back. Jay, talk. Here we go. Let's get a little deep right here. Talk to the people, Jay. Look.
Whatever the threat to, however the system is set up to keep things at status quo, and niggas is extinct. It ain't safe for me, my dog. These are real fucking lyrics.
You've come back to that a lot in the last few years. Like, the more I reveal me, the more they will kill me. Stuff like that. When you say they, like, who is that?
Whatever the threat to, however the system is set up to keep things at status quo, and keep us in a position of using words like allow. So anyone that's culpable in creating the system that we operate under, that's they.
Yeah.
The young man asked Jay-Z, who is they? Who is they? That was a powerful question right there. And Jay said, whoever is in control of this system that keeps us saying words like allow, whoever is in charge or in control or creating this construct, this matrix that keeps us in a circle, keeps us in a rat race, and keeps us thinking on that level of somebody allowing us. Whoever's doing that, that is they. That's what Jay just said. Now again, let's go into this. Jay is worth $2.8 billion. Jay could literally say the names. They are the DuPont family, the Rockefellers, the Carnegie family. They are the reptilians. They are the Jewish people that run the industry, that run Hollywood. See, Jay could have really said who they are. And this is what I mean when I say, you know, things like this make you look weak. To be Jay-Z, to be Sean Carter, right? To be Jehovah, right? To be this big time celebrity worth $2.8 billion. And you still won't say the names. You sitting there saying they this and they that. The 13 bloodlines, exactly. You know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about, Charlie P. The 13 families, even bigger, the reptilians, you know, bow, like dudes like Jay, Cat Williams, and a few others, they talk, but they'll never say the actual names. So when I heard that, it really resonated with me. It really was a red flag. When the young man asks Jay, who is they? You know, they don't allow us to do this, and they in control of the matrix, and they in control of Hollywood. You know how a lot of people talk, they did this and they did. Well, who the hell is they? The problem is dudes like me that'll say who they are. The real problem is dudes like Jay-Z that still shun away from them questions, that still duck and dodge. Jay was supposed to tell homie exactly who they are. See, homie, see, again, I ain't here to bash Jay-Z. I don't know Jay-Z, but the obvious is the obvious. The truth is the truth. To obtain multi-billion dollars as a urban black man, you know exactly who they are. You know the actual names of they. But as soon as you say one of them names, your ass will end up like Kanye West somewhere. Respectfully. What's the point of obtaining the world if you got to sell your soul? What's the real point of getting $2.8 billion and you ain't no war general? You can't control nothing. You ain't got no army. You can't really ride, nigga. You got all this money and you are detached from the culture. You got all this paper. You have obtained the ultimate mountaintop. You are at the top of the mountain and you ain't got an army to control. You just as weak as you was when you was selling drugs in the community. You just as weak as you was when you was coming up through the goddamn industry. It take more than money. See, again, we gonna have these real conversations here at Grown Man Business TV. It take more than money. When I was growing up, you needed more than money. Nowadays, all you got to do is have some money and everybody going to listen. They going to dick ride. They going to be yes men. They going to tell you, go ahead and put that dress on. All you got to do is have some money. And now everybody will listen to you like you some type of wise man. When I was coming up, the dudes with money had to get with the real men and pay them for protection. Listen, man. That's the difference. Jay-Z got multi-billion dollars and he won't even say the name. Nasty work, man. So let him talk a little bit more. But again, this is Jay-Z interviewing Jay-Z. This shit right here is nasty work. Terrible public relations. I wouldn't have let him drop this. I would have told Jay, listen, man, this ain't the one. We need to scrap this one. Let's get you in front of some real. Let's get you in front of somebody that's real, mind you. We don't even know this little nigga. Let's let somebody ask you some real questions. Let's prepare you for the real questions. What was you doing with Epstein? Was you at that party with that girl that accused you of those allegations? You know what happened between you and Dame? Is that feasible? Can that be worked out? What really went down between you and D Haven? We know D Haven was your savior. Why did you turn your back on Rockefeller Records? Why did you sell out something that was so powerful to the culture? The real questions. 2.8 billion mean your ass need to be in a furnace. They need to be asking you real questions, and you should be able to answer them shits like a boss. Go ahead and talk to the people, man. Look.
That's they. And it actually goes beyond color.
Yeah.
Because I've encountered that a lot. I've encountered that a lot where it was just like, okay, this successful black man make it. Let me go to him.
Yeah.
And for help. And they're like, you don't fuck with no rap shit.
Oh, wow.
Not like out like that, but
Yeah,
you know,
that's the energy.
Like the energy. It's like you see the energy.
Yeah.
You know?
I was thinking about how you described last year as being angry and for the first time in a while. Yeah. I wondered what it felt like to be pulled back into that feeling and how you pulled yourself out or how you leaned on the people around you.
Yeah.
I've been saying to pull you
I
out.
needed the people around me more than ever. Mm-hmm. Because usually when I have that feeling, I would just make music and just be therapeutic. I'll be able to, I'll blow it out.
Yeah.
And I would be like, you know, I move on. I had to sit in that
Yeah.
for a long time. And luckily I had that. And right, again, I built this this circle that's really safe for me, of people that really love me, not using me, and like, really care for my best interests. So I was able to have that in the time, the most crucial time for me.
Yeah.
I wanted to speak to that, man. I thought that was a powerful statement, man. I'm gonna break that down a little bit. He's speaking about the whole situation with the allegations with the young lady, saying what she said Jay did, and he was very angry about being accused of those type of crimes, as we all should and we would be. No man wants to be accused of grape or assault on a woman, etc. Right? And he spoke on how he's created, he has curated a circle around him that he really needed and was really there for him, his family and close friends that really helped him get through that. And I kind of wanted to just speak to that before we go into the other angle in that same sentence, because he said he had a family there to speak to that, and there's people around him that's not using him. And I'm gonna speak to that, you know what I'm saying? But let's just stay right here. That is something that I feel like a lot of people gonna let go over their heads and under their bridges. Everybody want to be outside. Everybody want to be at the club. They've been selling this same narrative and this same, scenery since I was a youngster. You know what I mean? Going to the club, standing in line, parking lot pimping, whatever, right? And the real win is when you curate a family, you curate a circle around you that is like a force field for this world. It's almost like chess. In the game of chess, you got the king right there in the middle, and then you got the queen right next to him. Then you got the knights, and you got the rooks, and you got the pawns, and they all surrounding the king. And if they telling you to go outside and be outside, if they telling you to go to the strip club, if they telling you to parking lot pimp, I tell you this all the time. You got to look at everything in reverse. If they telling you to be outside, then the smart thing to do is to be inside. If you always want to be outside and they promoting outside and they promoting the club and they promoting partying, they promoting the bottles and the sections, then in reality, you got to do the opposite of that. And I thought that was, again, they're not going to elaborate on that. But when he said that, it resonated with me. Grown men, we curating families, we curating circles around us. You know what I'm saying? Force fields around us of people that's going to protect and be in our best interests. You know what I'm saying? That whore right there, she's not in your best interest. That prostitute right there, that stripper right there, they all just want your money. They not thinking about your best interest. They'll get your ass robbed and killed behind a couple of dollars. But that woman right there that really love you, that woman right there that really see something in you, that really see potential in you, your wife, your girlfriend, that woman that's investing in you the same way you invested in her. See, she got your best interest at heart. She's the one that's probably in the house where your ass need to be at. Just wanted to elaborate on that. All right, I just wanted to kind of give Jay some shine on that. You know what I mean? The only way to get through this world at a certain point in your life is to have a circle around you that they love you and they want your best interests. They got your best interests at heart. Anything other than that, everything else that they got you looking at, these Instagram models, these strippers, X, Y, and Z, that's all a distraction. That's all propaganda. That's all put there purposely to keep your eyes off the prize and to keep your eyes on scattered ass all throughout that search engine and all that. Yeah. Respectfully. Now, he says something else that I'm gonna kind of get into. He said, he built a circle around him of people that are not using him. And I kind of want to speak to that. For some reason in our culture, right? In our culture, we all grow up poor, in poverty, in urban communities. And then as soon as we start touching some paper and we start touching some money and we start getting some success and we start getting some motion, right? Now, all of a sudden, we don't want to be used. We don't want people to use us. We don't want people to ask us for money. We don't want people to have their hand out. We don't want people to try to piggyback off our success. You know, I remember Jay-Z said he don't like going to family functions because somebody might ask him for $3,800. I remember when he said that. In this whole situation, even it all resonated. The downloads downloaded. That is a flaw in our culture. Everything all good when we broke. I could come to your house for some sugar. You could come to my house and get some cooking oil. Your mama want to fry some chicken. I could come to your house and get some salt and pepper. You could come to my house and you can get some ketchup. If you ain't got food today, you could come to my house and y'all can eat with us. If we ain't got food today, we could come to your house and we could eat with you. But as soon as we get some money, now all of a sudden you trying to use us. And it's nasty work. And you know, it's something to be studied and to be spoke on. As soon as niggas get some paper, all of a sudden we ain't, you know, a nigga trying to get you to take, you know, you shouldn't ask him for no money because, you know, a nigga don't owe you nothing. As soon as we get some money, we don't owe you nothing. When the truth in the matter is this: money and wealth comes with responsibility. It comes with a price. And if you ain't got money, or if you do got money, if you can't be used, then guess what? You useless. Hey, listen. If you can't be used in this situation, if me, you, and him, and her, and everybody, we all friends, and I can't use you, then you are useless. And if you can't use me, then guess what? I'm fucking useless. And I think that's where a lot of our successful counterparts go wrong at. As soon as niggas touch some paper, niggas get some success, they forget about being used. I ain't saying that you should let people take advantage of you. What I'm saying is you need to be used or you're useless. You either gonna get used or your ass is useless. So, again, looking at a dude like Jay, right? $2.8 billion and you don't want to be used. You don't want your family members to ask you for $3,800. I was always, even that shit always burned in my mental Rolodex. Like, where did the number 3,800, nigga worth millions and billions of dollars, and he said he don't want his family to ask him for 3,800. Yeah, I was like, this. Imagine being worth 900 million and one of your family members got to ask you for $3,800. And it's a pattern in the culture. I seen a video the other day on social media where one of Kobe Bryant, one of his homies, was speaking about him, and people, it sounded like he was speaking bad, but he was saying, a lot of people say that Kobe was he was a terrible person. You Kobe Bryant, your parents is selling memorabilia, nigga. What in the fuck is going on? Jay-Z is worth $2.8 billion. He talking about, oh, I don't want people around me that's gonna use me. Motherfucker be worth $100 million. You ask him for 50,000, the nigga talk about you using them. Yeah, I don't owe you nothing. Yo, you think you could give me like $1,500? Nigga ask you all kind of questions and shit. You nigga worth 200 million. You be like, yo, you think you could give me 2,500? Nigga, you act like you robbed him. Nasty work. You know what I mean? I don't want to speak. I'm not gonna speak on the nigga pockets, but I'm just saying, imagine if you really was trying to, really do it for the culture. You ain't got the motherfucking ass, nigga. Worth a couple of billion. You know how many people need to be put on? You know what kind of responsibility come with that? Niggas get the money and they run. Niggas get the bag and they run. And only those dudes is gonna get the bag because them people, them higher ups in the elites, they're gonna make sure you're not one of the people that's gonna try to liberate your people. If you got any signs of liberating your people, you ain't gonna get the 2.8 billion. Your ass will get assassinated. Yeah, yeah. So again, right? I'm just one of them ones that could sit in a room with a Jay-Z and ask the real questions and really listen, because I don't just talk, I listen. And I don't just listen, I comprehend what you're saying. Every word means something. I don't let one word slip. Every word. So I'm gonna let you talk and I'm gonna comprehend what you're saying, and then I'm gonna respond. I'm not just listening to respond, I'm listening to comprehend. Oh, I built a circle around me and these people are not here to use me. Hey, homie, heavy is the head that wear the crown. You supposed to be being used, overly used. Let's let the homie talk. Let's go into another receipt. Let's let the homie talk just a few more. I want to let the homie go a little bit more. See what he's talking about. Hold on. Big salute to the chat, man. Run them likes up and all that. Do what you're supposed to do when you get in here. Stop playing. Look.
You pop out like when you want to, you record when you want to, like you're not in that like that stricture.
Yeah, I think 444 released a lot. Although it's the hardest album for me to make, it's still hard to. I can't even listen to 444 because it's so. It's the album that I was always afraid to make. You know what I mean? Like you think about, like, man, I want to make an album like it's just like pure and just like vulnerable and just like the real interior thoughts. You know, not like, you know, this Superman, like this mythical figure.
So it's interesting for you to like pinpoint that, because like we were saying earlier, the last time you did one of these like kind of real sit downs was around 444, when that had like just happened and just come out. So I'm curious now, like what it's like that it's been some time since that, and how you've kind of evolved with those changes and going through that door, like you said.
Evolved with them changes and going through that door, like you said. Ooh. Hey, listen, you got to know, right? I'm listening to this and my ears is just, my spidey senses is just going crazy. My spidey senses is going crazy. You feel what I'm saying? I'm saying to myself, like, what? You heard that? You know, in this receipt, Jay says that 444 was the hardest album. He don't even like to listen to it anymore. And he was scared to make that album. Now, again, if you can't see through the smoke and mirrors, if you fall for the word semantics, right, then you'll say to yourself, you know, he was scared to be vulnerable, because that's what he said. I was scared to be vulnerable. You know, I was scared to really give my inner thoughts and really tell what I'm thinking for real, other than these other albums where, you know, I'm like the superhero X, Y, and Z. And what you got to remember about the album 444 is that Jay-Z was giving a lot of secrets up. He was talking about Jewish people. He was talking about business and, you know, your seed, marry my seed, marry your seed. That's how we keep Carter family, how we keep Carter money all in the family. He was saying stuff like that on that album. Your seed, marry his seed, marry my seed. That's how we keep Carter money all in the family. And when you really think about the game he was giving up on that 444 album, which is one of my favorite Jay-Z albums, I gotta say that. I listen to that album, currently, right? It was like a red flag that you would be almost ashamed of that album, or you would be scared to put that album out. It's because in that album, he's exposing them people. He's giving up certain things he's not supposed to be giving up. It's not because he was vulnerable. It made him vulnerable knowing that those Jewish people was going to hear what you was talking about. You know, again, something as simple as saying your seed, marry my seed, marry his seed. That's how you keep the money, y'all, in the family. These are things they don't They don't want us even, they don't even want you to plant that seed in the head of the urban community that you can get rich and you can get rich, and then you just make sure you construct a marriage between her and him and you keep the money all in the family. Let me give you an example of that. Let me give you a real prime, beautiful example of what he's talking about on 444. Martin Lawrence, Eddie Murphy, super rich. Martin Lawrence's daughter is married to Eddie Murphy's son, and they just had a baby. Your seed, marry his seed, marry our seeds. That's how you keep that Murphy and Martin Lawrence money all in the family. See what I'm saying? And again, I'm saying to myself, like, that probably should be one of your proudest albums. You know, giving that game how you gave it in that album, you know, exposing certain things that you exposed in that album is one of the reasons why they got you on the chopping block right now. Yeah. 444 is one. It's just a few other songs too. Family Feud is a fire song on that album, bro. Nobody wins when the family feuds. What's better than one black billionaire? Two. That's one of the reasons they got your ass on that Epstein. Yeah, that's one of the reasons they had your ass in the fire. You was getting all those accusations. Yeah, them women was coming out the woodworks. That's one of the reasons they start really promoting your son out there in Maryland. Oh, we gonna talk about that. Don't think, listen to me. Listen to me, homie. Your seed, marry my seed, marry his seed. That's how we keep the Carter money all in the family. So again, I thought that was just different. It says something to me when he spoke on the 444 the way he spoke on it. Jay is a puppet, my G, respectfully. And again, I grew up on Jay music. His discography of music makes him the greatest rapper alive ever. He is the greatest rapper to ever rap. I'm gonna give him that. When you take everything away and you listen to the music, Jay is Jay. There's nobody better than Jay, if you ask me. So again, to be honest, I wish it was the other way around. I wish Jay was a rebel like Tupac or a rebel like Grown Man Business TV. I wish Jay was pushing the envelope, pushing the line. I wish he was really, I wish. Yeah. Nah, I'll speak to that real quick, right? It's a lot of people, again, I have these arguments with the homies and in the barbershop. We had these conversations and, people is like, yo, Big is the greatest rapper. See, it's a lot of different categories that come when you talk about the greatest rappers. Not just how famous you are or how nice you are in, with your lyrics, right? There is a category that is very important when it comes to the greatest rapper to ever do it. And it's called the category of longevity. Longevity. Nobody talks about this category. Biggie, to me, could never be the GOAT. With certain lyrics that he said about eating dick and all that, that took him out my category right then and there. But not only that, he didn't live long enough. He didn't put in enough work. He actually had an untimely demise. He got assassinated. Tupac Shakur, amazing rapper, definitely up there on my list. But again, he died at 25. Biggie died at 24. They ain't put in enough work. Longevity is a part of this. You don't get to drop one album and be called the greatest rapper of all time. You don't get to drop 2 albums. In this day and age, you need longevity. Jay has that. 444, amazing album, bro. Nas, to me, Nas is a better. I put Nas up there with Jay, but the discography Jay got. Yeah, the discography for me, is Jay. You got Reasonable Doubt. You got Volume 2. You got Volume 3. Am I like, what? That's right, it's over. That's right, youngin'. The wait is over. The new millennium is upon us. The album is here. Before I get into this shit, let's get a few things clear. Rappers with no relation. 7 degrees of separation. And I kept it baking. This is the murderous virgin. Jigger the shit. Even if I rhyme in third person, over the God, I should be rapping with a turban. Jay is the GOAT, homie. Yeah. Hard Knock Life. Yo, Jay got, the dynasty. See, Nas got like, my favorite Nas album is I Am. I like It Was Written. Illmatic is not one of them albums to me. I don't, everybody talk about Illmatic. Maybe I was too young. Stillmatic is cool. Got a couple of joints up there that's fire. But anything after that for Nas really ain't, it really ain't, Blueprint. Jay got, Blueprint 2. The double disc. Can't y'all see that he's fake? The rap version of TD Jakes prophesizing on your CDs and tapes won't break you a crumb off the little bit that he makes. And this is, he was talking to Nas. Jay is the GOAT lyrically. Jay is the number one. It's nobody. And then $1 Billion Hove. You know what I'm saying? He married Beyonce. That nigga Jay did it right in all categories. All category. Nas, his baby mama was talking about taking, her milkshake bring all the boys to the yard, and damn right, she's better than yours, and damn, he was in love with that bitch. That nigga Nas was in love with a bitch who said her milkshake bring all the boys to the yard. Nas ain't really the greatest rapper. Yeah, that's a bad category for him. Yeah, Nas, I can't, Nas. That nigga Nas was in love. That bitch said her milkshake bring all the boys to the yard. That nigga Hove married Beyonce. Yeah. So again, Jay is the greatest rapper to me of all times. But to be the richest rapper of all times, it's a lot of back doors, a lot of, higher ups in the elites. It's a lot of, spirit cooking. It's a lot of nasty work to be the richest rapper of all times. And I like to throw that out there because again, this ain't a bashing Jay-Z. I be on his boots. I be on the Jay neck because it is what it is. But this ain't a Jay-Z bashing situation. We just gonna tell the truth. Boy, what? Hey, DMX. And again, that's another category, right? DMX, Nelly. It's rappers like that was more famous than Jay-Z. They were more commercially famous than Jay-Z. I can give them that. But that's about it. DMX got 2 albums I could rock with. You know what I'm saying? It's Dark and Hell is Hot and Flesh of My Flesh and Blood of My Blood. Anything other than that nigga shit was garbage. X shit was garbage after that. After Flesh of My Flesh and Blood of My Blood, it ain't an album I bought or listened to from DMX. Yeah, respectfully to DMX, RIP to him. Flesh of My Flesh, Blood of My Blood, and It's Dark in Hell is how he dropped both of those albums in 1 year. Everything after that was garbage. He had a couple of singles like, Y'all Gonna Make Me Lose My Mind, Up in Here, Up in Here. Y'all Gonna Make Me Go All Out, Up in Here, Up in. If I gotta bring it to you, nigga, then I gotta be quick. Because I've been to jail before. So, X was doing his thing. But he wasn't doing what Jay was doing. Nah, we can't do that over here. We got to keep it real. The dope is pure off the brick into the bottles. So we if you like Jay or not, we got to keep it funky. All right? It is what it is. Yeah, I see you in the chat. Yo, what? Hey, Jay got so much. That Hard Knock Life album, classic. The Blueprint album, classic. Yeah. Jay got some classics, but he got some motherfucking heat. Reasonable Doubt, classic. Volume 2, Volume 3. Pick one. Yeah, big salute to the chat. Go ahead and talk to the people, Jay. Look.
I'm super proud of the work that I've done and put in, and to be able to do that in front of the whole world.
Yeah.
Like most people, they get to, go through their things, very privately. Right?
You took it on tour.
Live every night. It was so healing for to like everything is love. That's a real chapter in life it got recorded.
Everything is love. You're rapping, like really, like there's some crazy verses on there where you're just like flowing nuts. Like friends and nice, like.
Yeah, thank you. And I'm a fan of my wife's creativity. She's a monster in the studio. She can hear like a sound off of like a drum 8 months prior and be like, what happened to that drum that was, remember that song? I'm like, no. And she'll pull out a drum sound that's like needed for that moment. You know what I mean? Like, she's a great producer. So
I want to just speak to that before we go to another receipt. That's another thing that I gotta respect about Hov, that I really respected about the I guess this part of the interview when he speaks about Beyonce. You know what I mean? I feel again, Jay is a chess player. Jay understood a long time ago that once you get to a certain level of success, it will behoove you to have your wife with you. You ain't gotta wait till you get to a certain level of success. But when you in the industry and you going through them doors and you moving with the higher ups and the elites and you rubbing shoulders with gatekeepers and all of that, if you notice, most billionaires are married, the majority of them. Most successful men, millionaires, 100 millionaires, X, Y, and Z, they got a wife on their arm because, a wife is business. When you are married, it show that you got like some responsibility. It show that you got something to live for. You got something to die for. It show that you got a little bit, you got some type of structure. You got some type of wherewithal when it come to family. A wife represents a lot when you walk in the room as a man, homie. And a lot of, again, they preach to y'all to have multiple, It was Felicia, Keisha, Tanya, Felicia, Dawn, LaShawn, Rolanda, Policia, Avlisha. I met her at an ice cream parlor. Corey, Laureen, and Carla. Y'all remember the song? You see what I'm saying? Yeah, they teach you to have all type of different women, and behind closed doors, them old billionaires and millionaires, them motherfuckers get married. They get divorced and get married again. They get a divorce and get married again. Ask yourself why. One of these old white billionaire motherfuckers will get divorced and they get married again. And they've been married 4, 5 times because it's a certain stature that come with that they don't tell y'all about. They make y'all think y'all gotta, I don't know what you heard about me, but a bitch can't get $1 out of me. No Cadillac, no pearls you can't see. That I'm a motherfucking PIMP. I'm about my money, you see. You can holler at me if you want to get me. I'm a PIMP. They told you to be a PIMP. Jay, he understood the ways of the world. It got to a point where it was Jay-Z and P. Diddy at the top of the mountain. Jay-Z and P. Diddy at the top of the mountain. Right up under the higher ups and the elites fighting for position. And the reason why Puff Daddy got crucified and Jay-Z is still working, the single reason why one fell and the other didn't is because one is married and one is not. Listen, Jay-Z was trying to get a basketball team. P. Diddy was trying to buy the Carolina Panthers. You know why he couldn't get in? Because he's running around with Carisha and a whole bunch of other whores, and he's all on Instagram hitting this one and hitting that one. You got this old-ass man with all these gray hairs, dyeing his motherfucking beard and his hair, and he's walking around with a city girl. And at that level of money, at that level of wealth, you a liability, homie. We can't have you in this circle right here. We can't have you sitting at the table with us and you got Carisha, I got my wife, he got his wife, he got Beyonce, and then you got this whore sitting amongst us, and nigga, you and Kanye West, you got Kim Kardashian. Yeah, we done all seen videos of Kim Kardashian eating cock. Yeah, her and Ray J. You got Carisha. She done went live and told the whole world she like to get pissed on. She want a golden shower, and you think you gonna sit amongst us? Nah, you done reached the level. You can't go to the next level with no whores. Yeah, you can't come through this door. P. Diddy got to the level where he couldn't go no further with a bitch that like to get peed on. It ain't nothing wrong with it. Listen, if that's what you like, a wife ain't gonna tell the world her husband pissing on her at nighttime. Yeah, only a whore gonna open her mouth in public and tell the world that she been getting pissed on. Yeah, your old lady, she not gonna tell the world about your freaky deaky ways. You think Jay-Z ain't doing some freaky deaky ways to Beyonce? Beyonce ain't said a goddamn word about whatever Jay-Z like to do behind closed door. Yeah, I could only imagine. I could only imagine how freaky you get with a couple of $1 billion, bitch. We gonna get freaky, bitch. Yeah. Bitch, I got $2.8 billion. You about to do a handstand tonight. Bitch, get your ass on a handstand and pop that pussy up. Or get up on that table. Hey, oh, yeah. Yeah, we got the babies is asleep. The babies is asleep tonight. We got a nanny upstairs handling the babies. Don't you? Wait, get your ass up on that table and pop it. Get on a handstand on top of that table right there. Pop your cock or pop your pussy all up on. Yeah. Bitch, I got $2 billion. We got to do something here. Bitch, get naked, bitch. Get out. Yeah, we gonna go out in the backyard tonight. Yeah, motherfucker, goddamn Jay, what's wrong with you? Bitch, I got $2 billion. Get your ass in the backyard and put this motherfucking put this maid outfit on. We getting freaky tonight. We got to get freaky. I don't want it no other way. But she not gonna go on television and tell the people you been pissing on her. See? That's why P. Diddy ass in prison right now. And that's why Jay-Z is sitting in this interview. Cause guess what? Yeah, he got a wife and family. Yeah, bitch. I got a wife and family, bitch. I can't really goddamn. Yeah. I ain't trying to go to jail. Why you ain't trying to go to jail? Man, I got a wife and family. I got Beyonce at the house. I got Blue Ivy. I got Rum. I got Lil Rummy. I got Sir Carter. I got a whole goddamn. I'm a family man. Oh yeah, I'm a family man. You see? Beyonce gonna get on goddamn TV. She gonna tell him, no, Jay-Z, she gonna talk good with you. What Carisha do? Tell the world you been pissing on her ass, golden showers on her ass, then whipped out and pissed all on the motherfucker. Yeah, goddamn, you done urinated all on the goddamn bitch. She won't urine on her. Yeah, I'm sorry. It is what it is. We can talk what it is. You don't like it. It's a reason why at those certain levels of wealth, it's a wife in the picture. It's a motherfucking old lady. Yes, everybody got an old lady. You came in here with Carisha, and you came in here with Kim Kardashian. We can get your ass up out. Don't bring no goddamn. Listen, don't bring no whores. If your ass single, you can't be around my old lady. Yeah, you go do your thing. Go get your BBL, pop your pussy. But we gonna go to this wedding. We got a wedding to go to. Me and my old lady, we were just at a wedding. We was drinking mojitos and shit. You and your people, y'all gotta go that way. They won't even give your ass an invitation to the wedding. That ain't your wife. They not gonna give you a +1 so you could bring Kim Kardashian and Carisha. Yeah. No. Hell no. You done told the goddamn world you been getting urinated and motherfucker urinating on you. Yeah. Look, let me show you. Look at Jay face and tell me he ain't doing some freaky. Look at Jay. Look at Jay face right there. That man, you think that man ain't doing some freaking off to Beyonce? Yeah, look at that man right there. Look at that man. Yeah, look at his face. Look at that smile right there. Shit. It's worth $2.8 billion. Yeah, get up on the goddamn handstand. Get your ass right there up on the handstand. Put that bean bag down right there and get up on the handstand. I don't care. Take your wig off, bitch. I want to see your cornrows tonight. Yeah, bitch. What's wrong with you? GMB TV? Why you? Bitch, take your goddamn wig off so I can see your cornrows tonight, bitch. I'm worth $2.8 billion. I want to see goddamn nigga hair tonight, bitch. I don't want to see a wig or no. Take your tracks out tonight, bitch. Leave the glue on your goddamn tracks so I can see what that's what I'm worth $2.8 billion. We getting freaky, bitch. Get on the goddamn handstand tonight. Put that bean bag down so she can pop it. Put some goddamn Sade on tonight. We gonna listen to Sade. I want you to twerk the Sade tonight. That's how free we gonna get. Yeah, put Sade on. You got Sade, Alexa, play Sade. Sweetest taboo, sweetest taboo. Sega, sweetest taboo. And pop pussy to that song right there for me. All right, my bad. My bad. I got to get back on track. I'm just saying though, but yeah, go pop pussy to Sade, Erica Badu. Yeah, I want you to twerk. I want you to twerk the Sade, bitch. Big salute to the chat. Let's get into this last receipt, man. I'm just playing. I'm just bullshitting with you, but I'm just saying though. All right, let's see where we at. Let's get into this last receipt. Hey Jay, man, what you got going on, Jay, man? Jay tripping, man. Let's see what Jay got going on. All right, let's listen to Hope, man. Big salute, look.
I gotta be honest, they're bad. It's just like all bad.
The streets really wanted you on that Clips album.
Yeah, I was close. But I think I think that the first thing that I say, it has to be said from me.
You can't be like,
I don't want to be so rigid with it though. I'm gonna keep that open. So I'm gonna take that back. But at that moment, I was like, yeah, I want to do something, but in order for me to move forward, I gotta get this shit out. I gotta get it out.
And look how they got Jay, they got Jay all like changing clothes and everything. But I wanted to speak to that. The interviewer asked him about the Clips album. Big salute to the Clips, Pusha T, Malice, Big 757, Let God Sort Them Out. Amazing, amazing album. Grammy award-winning album, right? And the interviewer asked Jay, he basically said, we wanted to see Jay, we wanted to hear Jay on that album. And I gotta respect Jay's answer. You know what I'm saying? He was just saying like, it wasn't really like he was close to getting on the album, but he didn't get on the album because he needed to say a few things on his own before he released music, etc. Right? But I just wanted to say I respect that because as much as I like the Clips album and it's an amazing body of work, right? Pusha T and Malice are still talking about something that I wouldn't respect hearing Jay talk about, like coke rap, or I don't know, like I don't want to hear Jay rapping in the same pocket of what Pusha T and Malice and them was rapping about. You know what I'm saying? And that's just me, especially after an album like 444 and just knowing like this man is worth $2 billion. He's a multi-billionaire. I don't want to hear Jay really getting in a bag where he is fully reminiscing about selling coke, about hustling. You know what I'm saying? Push that's his thing, and Malice, he was kind of doing his thing, and I respect that body of work, but I respect Jay for not getting on that album. You know what I'm saying? Unless they would have really did something abstract or took it all the way left just for Jay and let him do something like what they did with Nas, I could respect that. But Jay you know, as much as I wanted to hear him on that album, nah. And you know, I think Malice and Push still have room to do more music, because I would love to hear them elevate. You know what I'm saying? As much as I like Pusha and the Coke rap and the Coke talk, and as much as I know how real it is, like they are not, you know, like fabricating their drug past, their drug history. They are not making this shit up. You know, I respect what they do. I would love to see them elevate. You know what I'm saying? Pusha and Malice, I would love to see them like elevate the art. We already, you know, I would love to see them just go to the next level. Like still incorporate a little dope, little Coke, but Push is a married man. Push has a son. He has another son on the way. Like you're a full family man. It's a whole lane for that. It's a whole lane where you could talk about what's on the other side of the fence from selling dope and selling Coke and running through Virginia doing what you do. So I respected Jay's reason for not getting on that album. You know what I'm saying? And I did want to speak to that as well. You know, I would love to see Push like drop another album or maybe a solo album where he just goes into his 444 bag, where he goes into a bag where your best friend is, you know, the head of Louis Vuitton, and you got a wife named Virginia, and you got two sons that are growing up, and you have reached the pinnacle of Coke selling, Coke dealing. You know what I mean? I just wanted to throw that out there. I might clip this up. Big salute to the clips. Big salute to Pusha T, Malice. Amazing album, but it was very predictable. That album, it was just very predictable. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like as good as they are as artists, they could take this shit to a whole nother level, right? So let's get into this next receipt. Big salute to the chat. Look.
Yeah.
I have to ask you this only as a participant, and
You don't have to give a disclaimer first.
well, I'm just saying, as someone who was part of probably the genre's biggest rap beef,
Well, until now.
as a spectator,
Yeah.
what did you think of the 2024 back and forth between him and Drake?
I'm going to have an answer you're not going to like.
Okay.
Well, I don't know if you're going to like that. That's presumptuous. I think that, look, there was 4 pillars of hip-hop. There are 4 pillars of hip-hop, right?
Yep.
There's breakdancing,
Yep.
and it's graffiti.
Yep.
There's DJing and battling.
Yep.
Breakdance is not at the forefront of rap anymore. It's actually an Olympics sport. So that's dead. Graffiti,
Yeah.
beautiful, you know, in certain places.
Yeah.
And even in like, you know, major art and like Keith Haring
Yeah. Yeah.
and Basquiat, actually, the street artist,
Yep.
took it to a next level. It's not part of hip hop.
Mm-hmm.
DJing, the DJ was in the forefront. It was Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince,
Right. Yeah.
Eric B and Rakim.
Yeah.
You don't even know the DJ for half of the artists anymore. Who's
Yeah.
Drake barring with music, with collaborations more so than breaking the whole thing apart?
Yeah.
It could stand it before because there was no social media and there was no thing, and you know, you had the battle and it was fun, and then you moved on.
Right.
Right now, I don't know if it could stand it with the technology that we have.
Music.
Just everything around it was just like, man, it's like taking us a couple steps back,
Yeah.
and we just grown so much that I don't know if, I guess I'm gonna say it, I don't know if battling needs to be part of the culture anymore.
Interesting.
I hate that I had this point of view. I do, because I know what it sounds like. I know what it feels like. I hate it. It's just how I feel about
Well,
it.
it even kind of
Now that was a receipt that I was like, damn. Like again, we gonna talk about the higher ups and elites. We gonna talk about the doors. We gonna talk about the woes of the industry, nasty work, right? But then it's like things like this where I just wanted to speak on this. You know, he's talking about the Drake and Kendrick Lamar battle, right? And to make a long story short, to make a short story shorter, right? He says he doesn't think that battle rap should be a part of the culture anymore. Now, this is Jay-Z. And I mean, this is the takeover. This is Ether, right? And at first I was like, I said to myself, like, damn, you know, Why would Jay say that? This is Jay. I hit it from the beat, skeeted on your baby seats. This is Jay-Z that told Nas that he skeeted on his baby seats. We all heard that. It was like, oh my God, skeet on a nigga baby seat? Like what? Right? And after the smoke and mirrors, after everything cleared, I said to myself, this is deep, man, because again, this is billionaire Hove. This is multi-billionaire Hove. You know what I'm saying? When you reach a certain level, let's just take all the bad out of it. Let's take the higher ups and elites out of it. Let's just take all of the doors. Let's take all of the industry talk out of it and just look at multi-billion-dollar Hove. You say things like that when you catch a couple of billion. You know what I mean? I don't think that there shouldn't be any more battle rap in the culture. There's no need. There's no need for battle rap where you could get a couple of $1 billion, nigga. Yeah, niggas battling. Why are we battling? Worth $2.8 billion. I don't think we should battle anymore. It's no need. Like, that's exactly what he should be saying. You know what I mean? Like, yo, this ticket's worth, yo, you know how much $1 billion is? I think we throw these words around so easily, right? It's like, oh, he's worth $1 billion. Jay-Z is worth $1 billion. But nigga, when you really bust down how much that, nigga, that's a lot of fucking money, bro. That's a lot of money. Your ass might put a Barney hat on. And listen, salute to everybody in the chat. Well over 350 people in here. Hit the like button when y'all come in here. But I guarantee you, all 373, the majority of y'all in the chat will put a Barney hat on if your ass had $2 billion. Yo, motherfucking ass, your ass get $2 billion, man. Shit, the fashion shit start looking weird, y'all. That's a big Scully hat you got right there. Yeah, it's a Balenciaga Scully hat. It's a triple X. Yeah, try it on. We made it just for you. You motherfucker gonna put that motherfucker on. Oh, it looks good with these soccer Adidas. You ever see those Adidas that the soccer players are wearing? I think I'm gonna try those on today. Look at these motherfucking socks. These motherfuckers, he got the goddamn Bob Marley's on. Yo, this nigga got a 10X Scully hat with the Bob Marley's on right here. Yeah. I don't know. I think a couple of $1 billion, nigga. I might put some Bob Marley Adidas on too. Let me get the ones that Bob Marley had when he was playing soccer and shit. You know what I'm just saying, man. Yeah, we don't need battle rap anymore. And let me put on a pair of Bob Marley Adidas. You the motherfucker. Hey, bro, 999. Nigga, it's like, nigga, $1 billion. That's like 800 million, 999 million. Nigga, what the fuck? Nigga, $999 million, nigga, times 2. Shh. Give me the Bob Marley Adidas. I don't need no Balenciagas today. Fuck Gucci. I'm not wearing. I'm going to go ahead and get them Bob Marleys. Yeah. You know the ones that Bob Marley. Give me the little skinny Adidas. The slim ones like this. The low top Adidas. Yeah, man, shit. Shit. I would tell your ass, hey, listen. I get 2.8 billion. I tell your ass we don't need battle. I don't think battle rap should be a part of the culture. For what? It's no reason to talk to each other like that. Why would you talk to me like that? And why would I talk to you like that when I have $2.8 billion and I have 2.8 billion? I don't want to battle. I'm going to tell Beyonce to pop pussy on the headstand tonight. Yeah. I don't want to do a battle rap song. I'm gonna drink some Douce and I'm gonna go to one of my houses that's worth 100 million. I got $100 million house in Bel Air, and maybe I'll have Beyonce pop pussy on a headstand tonight, in the backyard. Why not? Why not? Shit, I ain't gonna go through no doors. I ain't getting down with the higher ups and elites. I ain't with none of that. But I'm gonna do some. I'm gonna put on some motherfucking some Bob Marley Adidas and you know, a denim velour denim jacket. Yeah, wow, put a velour. Yeah, nobody's wearing velour suits. Nobody wears denim. Well, let me get some denim jeans and a denim jacket and wear them. I'm gonna wear some Adidas with some white socks. Yeah, I want my socks to be white. Yeah, if you look at what he got on, man, this motherfucker got a couple billion. Got to have a couple of $1 billion. What kind of fabric is this? Oh, it's Egyptian cotton. This isn't denim. This is Egyptian cotton. All right, all right. Go ahead and talk to people. Look.
Extend it to you, right? Because people made it a personal thing that you chose Kendrick for
Yeah,
the Super
motherfucking
Bowl.
joints
It's like,
right
oh
there.
man,
Look at
he's
them
choosing
joints.
the side, and he's putting, and he's
Look at
not.
them motherfucking Adidas right there.
What I have to do with that? I chose the guy that was having a monster year. I think it was the right choice.
Word.
It wasn't in some sort of alliance to a battle. I don't.
Yeah.
What I care about them two guys battling, like, what's that got to do with me?
Respectfully, if I had to, listen, if I'm gonna put the big hat, I probably could wear a big hat. Listen, I get a 10X Scully too. Hey, what you got over there? That's a 10X Scully. That's the size. That's too big for your G&B. Let me try it on. Yeah, that's a motherfucking big ass hat. Look like an Eskimo hat. You remember the Eskimos? Let me see how it fit. I mean, shit, it's 2.8 billion, bitch. It ain't a, hey, bitch, hey, yeah, your bitch, yeah, your wife, hey, bitch. Listen to me. I wouldn't expect you to understand what's going on with this big ass hat, bitch. I'm worth $2.8 billion. Yeah, it's a whole nother goddamn ball game up here. Go ahead and talk to the people, Hov. Look at the motherfucking hat.
Word.
Have at it. Have fun. It's almost like not just me, by the way. They drag everybody in there. Like everyone's part of this conspiracy to undermine Drake, I guess. But like, what the fuck? Like what? I'm fucking Jay-Z. or due respect to him, I'm fucking Hov. Dude, respectfully.
Word.
Like for what? To what end?
Yeah.
It couldn't be that these guys just don't like each other.
Yeah.
And I think they haven't liked each other for a long time.
That nigga Hov rich as hell. You don't see that nigga? Hey, bro, that nigga Hov too rich, man. Hey, for real, I ain't gonna lie, son. I never believe, I can't believe we had a time where this shit is real. I wouldn't have never believed this when I used to listen to Reasonable Doubt. Look at how Jay-Z's sitting there with that big ass hat, bro. That nigga is too much. He got too much money, man. He need to get some of that money away, man. Yeah, philanthropy, man. He need to start practicing philanthropy, man. He need to start passing that money out, nigga. I got 100 million. I'm gonna give y'all. Everybody gonna get $1 million. I got 100 people. Come see me. I'm gonna start handing out million. Give you $1 million. Yeah, he need to come back. He too hot. Hey, look at this nigga Jay. Watch this shit. Look.
Everyone's part of this conspiracy to
Look at Jay.
undermine Drake, I guess. But like, what the fuck?
Look at
like,
this nigga,
what?
man.
I'm fucking Jay-Z. or due respect to him, I'm fucking Hov. Dude, respectfully.
Word.
Like for what? To what end?
Yeah.
It couldn't be that these guys just don't like each other.
Yeah.
And I think they haven't liked each other for a long time.
Look at this nigga Hov, man. Look at this nigga. What the fuck? Hey, but this nigga Hov too. He got too much money, bro. That nigga got a Bill Cosby. That nigga Hov starting to look like Bill Cosby in the face. I even swear that download just downloaded. It's like this nigga done got so much money. Him and Bill Cosby they starting to resemble each other. Look at this. Look. Put the pudding in the pudding pop. Put the pudding in the pudding pop. Yo, put the pudding. Get the pudding. Get the jello pudding. Get the pudding pop. What the fuck? Yo, man, what? No, hey, bro, I'm gonna get off this, but But I'm just saying, yo, Jay is filthy rich, bro. That nigga got a Bill Cosby. This nigga whole structure is Bill Cosby. Look at this nigga. Look.
Before you had anything to do with it.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think this has been brewing, just like me and Nas was brewing.
Yeah.
It didn't happen at the Summer Jam. That happened at Lexington TV sets, the minimum, whatever. It was a whole bunch of stuff leading up to that point.
Myth Fleek, what is the Myth Fleek slugs in your hat, right?
It was slugs in your hat. It was a bunch of like little things that led up to that point. And then when it happened, I actually regret that because I really like Nas. He's a really nice guy.
But also to your point, like I remember I was like 10.
Now I want to talk about this guy right here. Big salute to the chat. On a serious note, right? Again, you know, this interviewer, like I'm asking myself over and over, like, who is this guy, right? Like, what was the reason behind him picking this guy? And if you look at his demeanor and his mannerisms, right? You know, he's not really a man. He's like a young kid talking to Jay-Z. He's smitten. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's Jay-Z. So he ain't stopped laughing. He been showing all his teeth the whole interview. He ain't asked no real questions. He's just smitten. He's just happy to be talking to Jay. And again, I'm saying to myself, that's nasty work. Like, it's if you can't see through the smoke and mirrors, then you will let this go over your head and under your bridge. But looking at this dude, it's like, bruh, what is he even doing in the room with Jay? Why is he asking Jay questions? I don't know. You know, again, you know, it's a lot to be said. It's a lot to talk about. It's a lot of things that Jay could have got straight. He could have straightened a lot of goddamn. He could have gave a lot of straightening in this interview. And he just fluffing his way through the interview. He just fluffing his way through. You know what I mean? Respectfully. Yeah, he got that big, yeah, Bill Cosby. What the pudding in the pudding pop with the pudding of the what the put the pudding Bill Cosby to put the pudding in the yeah, look.
Or 11 when that happened. I was like,
pick a side.
Well, I was on your side.
Yeah, I can clearly.
But my position was I can't go out and buy Stillmatic or ask my parents to buy Stillmatic.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna borrow it and burn it because I can't deny one mic. You know.
Like I want to hear it.
Yeah.
But I ain't supporting them.
Word.
Yeah.
Look at Jay. Look at this nigga. Shit, nasty work, son. Let's keep going.
I don't know. Can't go.
You know what? Let's go to another receipt. Give me a little intermission. Handle some business real quick. Big salute to the chat. Y'all do what y'all do. Give me 2 seconds. Let me handle some business. Put the pudding in the pudding pop. My mind is infested with sick thoughts that circle like Alexis. If driven wrong, it's sure to hurt you. Do level like duplexes. Community. My crew and me commit atrocities like we had immunity. You guessed it. Manifested intangible hoods. Platinum Rolex it. We don't lease, we buy the whole car as you should. My confederation, detonation, explodes on detonation. Overload the mind of a said patient. When it boils and steams and comes to it, we all fiends gotta do it. Even righteous minds go through this. True this, the street schoolers to spend our money foolish. Bomb with jewelers and watchful intruders. I stepped it up another level. Meditated like a Buddhist. Recruited lieutenants with ludicrous dreams of getting cream. Let's do this. It gets TDS. So I keep one eye open like CBS. You see me stressed, right? Can I live? Can I live? Can I live? Can I live? Rockefeller, y'all. What it do? What it do? What it do? Yeah. Yeah, keep a couple of y'all in here, man. Let the haters get up out the chat. They'll be back. We in the algorithm, so they'll be back. But you know, I'm an old man. I just look like this. You don't see the grays on me and all that. I'm an old man. So I gotta do what old people do. You feel me? Yeah. What they call it. I got to drain the weasel. You feel me? I got to drain the weasel. You feel me? All right. Let's get into where we at. Let's let Jay. You know what? Spoke to that. Let's get to this. Let's get to this next angle right here. I think this is the last receipt, and then we just gonna ride this out. This is the last receipt right here, though. You know, Jay is, again, all bad aside, man. You gotta really give Jay. You really gotta give Jay his props on certain things, and then call out, you know, the BS that. And we're gonna talk more about that. I'm gonna play one more receipt. And then we're gonna just elaborate, and we just gonna have the conversation. Big salute to the chat. Yeah, man, I'm an old man, B. I can't, you know, I got to do it. Got to do it. You know what I mean? Let's let this last receipt play. This is a powerful receipt. This is the last receipt, and I want to speak to this. You know what I'm saying? Again, I took certain angles and certain parts of the interview. I didn't want to, you know, we can't play it all the way through. You know how YouTube is. You know how the algorithm is. But I definitely wanted to pick out very important parts of this and give my perspective on it. So I'm gonna let them talk, and then we're gonna double right back. Big salute.
I want to go back to this idea we were talking about just doing things the right way, even when that comes to like attaining wealth and continuing to amass wealth. We're talking about B-sides. One of your illest lines to me is face to the ceiling, race to a billion, heaven on earth, will his wings still fit him? So
Yeah.
like, what's the answer to that question? Is it a constant struggle to maintain?
Your morality defines who you are, right? It's not what you've attained. It's not a dollar amount that changes you.
Yeah.
And if so, what is that dollar amount? When does it start? Is it 100,000? Is it 150? Like at what point, if it's a cutoff, if it's like all millionaires are bad.
Yeah.
Okay, so at 999,000, I'm good. It can't be that way, right? It doesn't make any sense. The system is set up against me, against us. But I'm talking about my specific struggle.
Yeah.
Everything was against me. My talent, not taking advantage of people, not taking advantage of a system, not creating tax loopholes, not just taking from other people. No, my talent pushed against all the headwind. And with that success, I've done things with my reach that I wanted to do that was helpful for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And with the system that we have, what are you going to do?
So I'm gonna let them keep going, but I wanted to stop right there and just elaborate on that, because like I said, I think that the last receipt was a very powerful receipt. How he closed out. You know, money doesn't shape morality, right? I agree with that. You understand what I'm saying? Again, the things that they present to us, you got to look at it in reverse. So in this day and age, you know, your money is how you get the move, and you can, you know, they'll make excuses for people that's rich to, you know, disrespect certain people or have attitudes or treat people a certain way because they're Jay-Z, right? But in actuality and in the real reality, right? Who you are as a person is who you are. You know, Jay said before, you know, you was who you was before you got here. Only God could judge me, so I'm gone. Either love me or leave me alone. But the main part of that bar or that verse is you was who you was before you got here. So morality trumps money. You understand? And only like real men or real people, right, still understand that. It's a lot of people that don't understand that. Everybody has been bamboozled and brainwashed by the concept and construct of capitalism and money, right? So again, if you do have a price, what is it? And it's not that all millionaires are bad. See, it's the word semantics. You know, if all millionaires are bad, what is it? Wait till I get to 999,000 and then, now I'm still good, and then until I get it. No, it's not that all millionaires are bad, but the higher you go up on the totem pole, the closer to evil you become. There is really almost no way, right, to climb to certain heights without engaging in evil. Money, the root of all evil. The root of it is not that money is evil, but it is the root of all evil. See, again, I'm only here to give you the pure dope straight off the brick into the bottles. There's no way to climb up the totem pole to a certain level without engaging in the evils. That's why if you really want to stay away, right, you don't need $1 billion. You understand? You don't need $1 billion. Couple of million to do, 5 million to do. 5 million, I'm good. Between 5 and 20. And I think you can get that without having to literally snake and slither. You can get that without necessarily having to go through that door the way you're going to have to go through that door to get to 100 million. To get to that 100 million, you got to touch that evil. Money is the root of all evil. Money ain't evil. It's the root of all evil. Even again, the word semantics. When they throw these things out there and people say it because they don't comprehend what's going on, people just listen to respond. Comprehension is key. Comprehension is key, my G. Always run with that and understand that. Think about that. That's deep. That comprehension is key. Reading is fundamental and comprehension is key. So when they say money is the root of all evil, people automatically say that money is evil. No. In that saying, it never said that money is evil. It said money is the root. Money is the root. The money ain't evil. But the money will eventually grow the evil. Whatever your evil is, whatever your vice is, whoever you are will come out of that money. But the money ain't evil, my G. Because again, when you get biblical, when you go, and you already know I like to get biblical, but when you look into that good book, Job was filthy rich. Job was rich. Job was well off. God stripped Job of all that wealth just to see if he was going to curse his name, and then he gave it back to him times 10. Job had 500 sheep, 1,000 camel, 1,000 cattle, 500 donkey jackasses, 500 acres of land. When it was all said and done, he had that times 10. So, money is not the part that's evil. It's just the root. Mr. Universe said you hate that story. Yeah, that's one of my favorite stories in the book. That's one of my favorites. I'm gonna say because it's just so. I'm gonna tell you something before I move forward. Right, that book is the first book that made me question to myself, was this shit based off of like actual factual physical action, or was these stories that was put together to create righteous societies and grow righteous civilization? Because that story has a lot of it made me question a lot of shit. Simply, the sons of man came up into the heavens to present themselves to the Most High. And along with the sons of man, Satan was with them. So now God and Satan is having a conversation and all. And these motherfuckers is talking like they betting on sports bets and all that. These niggas is having a conversation like they betting on Job, like they betting on some motherfucking racehorses. You know what I mean? It's a powerful story. It's one of my favorites. My point is the money, morality. Like Jay talks like this, but then when you dig into his patterns and you look into his old ways, let's put the music aside and let's look into the actions. I don't know how much money it's gonna take for you to do the Picasso video with the spirit cooker lady. How much money, what level was you at where you was able to sacrifice your integrity, your morality, who you are, to be rubbing foreheads with a spirit cooker? You see what I'm saying? Let's let Hov talk a little more. Go ahead and talk. Look.
Because I don't believe in that the idea that someone has a certain amount of money it defines their personality.
So when you have like an example like that versus like the kind of, I would say, commonplace public perception that someone would say all billionaires are bad or no one should have $1 billion. Like, what's the tension in that?
I got to give you the honest answer.
Please.
There's no tension.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck what you say. You can believe what you want to believe.
Word.
People behave the way they want to behave.
You was who you was before you got here.
Was who you was before you got here. Yeah. That's the makeup of your person. You're going to believe what you're going to believe, and you're going to behave the way you behave.
Now, I want to speak to that. And again, I like that. Yeah, at the end of the day, after all is said and done, right? The truth is the truth. It is what it is. But, is you really gonna give a fuck? Are you really gonna care when you got when you a multi-billionaire? Just in your own right. Because again, in the right rooms, Jay-Z is a crumb on the table. A lot of these real billionaires, they got 100 billion, $200 billion, $80 billion. In a room with a man with 80 billion, Jay-Z is a worker. A man with 80 billion to look at Jay-Z, little 2 billion, and say, man, I spend that shit on gasoline, fueling up my yachts. I spend that money in 24 months, fueling up my yachts and my private planes and all that. So in perspective, I just want to give you a perspective. Like, in our eyes, Jay-Z is Jay-Z. But at the end of the day, any and everybody, for the most part, it's a very small percentage of us that would care. I'm one of them. $2 billion, that's beautiful. I need that. But I also need you to know that I'm stand up. I need, my integrity, my morality, like who I am as a man. I'm a man before anything. I'm a man first. So for me, it do matter. But for the majority of people talking about Jay and talking about these celebrities, they can get paid for. They have price tags. Let me give you an example. The homie Haas Campbell. He talked about these celebrities, and then as soon as these celebrities get him on the phone, he's smitten. I heard the phone call of Hassan Campbell on the phone with Mano talking about Jim Jones. Oh, I can't wait to work with you guys. I would love to be in the studio with you guys. I would love to do something with you guys. I heard the video. I heard the phone call. As soon as so to a lot of these dudes, it don't matter. They not gonna care. Jay's one of them. He don't care what you think. They always tell us, right? Don't worry about what other people think about you. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you was born alone, you're gonna die alone. But what I'm here to tell you is, to a certain extent, that's a lie. Again, they lie to us. It do matter. It matters to a certain extent, and that's why everybody moves a certain way. Everybody says, don't worry about what anybody says about them, but then they move a certain way because they don't want people to think because that's your innate nature. Let's go deeper into this. If you didn't care about what people think, Jay, or if you didn't really care the way you just said it, you would have took that DNA test for your son out there in Maryland. You would have took a DNA test to prove to the world and prove to that boy that you are not the father, like Billie Jean or Michael Jackson. Billie Jean is, yeah, you know. Morality. You understand what I'm saying? If you really was moving on those principles, we wouldn't be talking about if that's your son or if that's not your son. But see, the thing about it is, allegedly, that is your son. And allegedly, his mother had him at 16, which means she was impregnated at 15. So, again, right? You get these interviewers up there, you get people that love Jay-Z or have a way about Jay-Z, right? And the money that he has made, and then you lose integrity and you lose morality and you don't ask the real questions, because the real question is, if you didn't care that much and money don't make the man make the money, and you know your morality has no price tag, there wouldn't be children out here saying that you're the father and you fight more for the DNA test not to take place than you do for it to take place. You will fight 10 years not to take this DNA test when all you got to do is take the DNA test, get it over with, prove you not the daddy, move on. Again, the higher you go up on the totem pole, there is no denying the evils. The higher you go up on the totem pole, the evils you did back in the darkness, they come to the light. See? You don't get $100 million, $200 million without the evils that you did in the darkness coming into the light. So I needed to just speak on that because, again, it's going to look good with Jay. He talking that talk. He got that big ass hat on. He got them Bob Marley Adidas on. And he talking about morality. And he talking about you was who you was before you got here. Well, who was you before you got here, Jay? That's one of the questions I would have asked when you said that. Right behind that, I would have said, okay, well, Jay, who was you? You was who you was before you got here. Well, who was you? Who was you? Before we knew Jay-Z, when you was just Sean Carter, who is that guy? Because it's a dude out there saying that you his daddy, y'all look like twins. But if it comes to light that you are the father, that means you was laying down with she was 15 and you was doing what you was doing. The money does matter. The money is the root of all evil. The money ain't evil. It's the root of all evil. Big salute to the chat. You know, I'm going to let my man talk just a few more minutes. Salute to this young boy, too, as well. I mean, it's a hell of an opportunity to be talking to Jay. I ain't going to lie. The nigga look like Jay. You know what's so crazy? I'm telling you, the Matrix, it's a glitch in the motherfucking Matrix, man. I wouldn't be surprised if this is Jay-Z's nephew. And if this ain't Jay-Z's nephew, you need to get a blood test on this young man as well. Look! That's Jay-Z. That's either your nephew or that's your goddamn son, Hove. Yes. Yes. Yes, Jay. Hey, Jay, you got some motherfucking explaining to do. We've been all asking the same. Who is this young brother right here interviewing Jay-Z? And as soon as I said that, the downloads downloaded, and I looked at you, and that's either that better be your nephew, yeah. Better be your goddamn nephew, Jigga. That boy look just like your motherfucker. Boy, shit. I would have took, listen to me, if I was the interviewer, your ass need to take a DNA test too. I'm gonna take a DNA test on your ass. I would have brought your son up anyway. And they told him, yeah, don't bring up Ramir. We don't want to talk about Ramir. Don't say anything. Don't bring up. And then I would have said okay, and then I would have brought Ramir up, and I would have said me and Ramir look just like each other. I think you might need to take a DNA test on me too, bro. Give me 100 million. I won't say nothing else. Yeah, give me. Okay, listen, I'm sorry. 100 million might be too much. Listen to me. Go ahead and give me like 25 million, and you ain't got to worry about the DNA. I'ma tell the world I don't know you. 25 million. Can we? Yeah, wire me to get 25 million. That little boy, look. Give me 25 million, and we won't have nothing else to talk about. 25, 30 million, if you don't mind. I appreciate you. Yes. Yes. If you could give me about 20 to 25,000, yeah, about 25 to 30 million, I think I can go ahead and I won't say nothing else about it. Yeah, I won't say nothing else. Yeah, that's that nigga. Look at the movie. Talk to the people. Look!
Looking at a year that you defined to me as all offense. And, you know, you said that you made scratches and they sounded kind of like fiery and maybe not anything you wanted to put out. So it made me wonder, like, what are the hallmarks of a great Jay-Z album right now? Like, what are you trying to put out there that you would want to put out there?
I don't know yet. I don't know. But I know that we have enough negativity currently.
Mm-hmm.
I know that for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know what I need to create currently that's gonna like fulfill me.
Okay.
And make me happy, because that's most important.
Yeah.
Right. And whatever that feeling is, you know, will vibrate and like, you know, touch people in a way with its honesty. And maybe I'm overthinking it. Maybe I'm stopping myself from just creating, trying to create something that people like.
Yeah.
Is where I think a lot of artists get jammed up.
Right.
You know,
overthinking it.
Yeah, they just try to make
or reverse engineer it. Yeah.
Yeah, or like, you know, they love the feeling of that white hot feeling of when they was you know, it felt new.
Yeah.
And that newness, trying to create that, is where they get jammed up, because you don't know slang, and you don't think it's sad. It's like it's cringy. Like, nah, don't do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Right. Make your type of music.
Right.
And we're gonna close with this. Big salute, man, to the chat. You know, I don't really want to hear music from Jay. Me personally. Me personally, like, I don't know why he's speaking about new music or maybe an album, and he's saying that he doesn't really, he's not in a zone to create. You know what I mean? And I think that Jay should stay away from dropping any more music. You know what I mean? It's like, again, our leaders, or because Jay's not a leader, right? But the people that reach the top of the mountain in our culture don't know when it's time to really liberate the people, when it's really time to go to war, when it's really time to turn into a Malcolm X or, a late great Tupac Shakur, when it's really time to press a line. And that's why I think at the end of the day, like, I'm just disappointed in the final product of what Jay was selling. Back in the day, it's like, man, Jay, Big, Pac, Nas, they were such rebels that I could only imagine if one of them obtained $1 billion, what rebel mentality would come from that. And it's like to see Jay with these motherfucking Bob Marley Adidas on, with the Bill Cosby, he got the Bill Cosby mannerisms with all that money and no kind of like warrior mentality. It's just like, man, I wouldn't even listen to a new Jay album. Me personally, he would have to be on the radio or like be on, I don't know, I would have to come across it somehow. I wouldn't sit and listen to it. I don't want to hear Jay rap. I want to see like some type of revolutionary, activity coming from a billionaire, multi-billionaire. I'm talking like, nigga, shit. Like, start moving some chess pieces around. Nigga, you got $2-3 billion. Start moving some shit around. You know what I mean? And respectfully, like, in the open. Because Jay did some things I respect. Like, him and Beyonce was bailing out All those people from the George Floyd riots, behind closed doors, they were spending hundreds of thousands of dollars like bailing everybody out. Any and everybody that went to jail, got arrested during those riots, Jay and Beyonce was bailing them out. I respected when I heard about that. I respected that. But I'm talking about like real chess moves in the public. Like start shifting and moving your weight around, nigga, out in the open. Like we ain't doing that. Oh, Target want to fuck around? Nobody going to Target. The same way you told everybody to drink Cristal, you told everybody to wear button-ups, and we started wearing button-ups, start really affecting the bottom line. We ain't going to Target. Nigga, you go to Target, you a lame. Niggas ain't going to Target no more. Jay still got that effect on the people. Yo, this what we doing. This what we ain't doing. You a TSA worker, this what we gonna do. You black, you this, you that. At the end of the day, Jay can't do none of that. I wouldn't care if Jay had $5 billion. It ain't nothing he could do for his people. That's what make him weak. That's what brings the disappointment. You know what I mean? So big salute to everybody in the chat, man. Big salute to everybody in the DM that wanted my perspective on this situation. There it is. You know what I'm saying? Nothing more, nothing less. It is what it is, and it'll be what it's gonna be. I wouldn't expect nothing more from Jay. I already know what he is. I already know what this is. But at the same time, it ain't nothing wrong with speaking on it. And again, just like LaRussell, just like what I said about LaRussell, right? Like, you ain't a lame for speaking on LaRussell or feeling a certain type of way about him taking a deal when he sold the product of entrepreneurship. He sold the product of independence. It's the same thing with Jay. Jay albums, his early albums never talked about working with confidential informants. Jay sold us the street code. He sold us, luxury rap. Jay said, don't fuck with the police, nigga. We don't talk to police. We don't ride with no rats. Jay working with a full-blown rat. So we have the right to speak to the product that was sold to us. Come to find out that shit was a lie. It was fraud. It wasn't real. It is what it is, and it'll be what it's gonna be. Yeah, it is what it is, and it's gonna be what it's gonna be. The old Jay got sacrificed, lost that soul. Yeah, 100%. I'm gonna show you something right here real quick. It was one of the first times I knew Jay. Let me see. When I knew Jay had definitely walked through the door. Hold on. Give YouTube creators like you. Let me see something. Hold on. Yeah, we still in here. We doing. We gonna wrap it up. Hold on, real quick though. Let's look at this. This one I knew. Let's look at this. Let's see what
In 2013, Jay-Z released his music video for Picasso Baby, which starred controversial performance artist Marina Abramovich, along with countless other celebrities. The music video was actually inspired by Marina's 2010 art installation called The Artist is Present. They filmed the music video in New York City, and Jay allegedly performed this song for 6 hours straight. It was his own version of a marathon performance, and Marina only agreed to be a part of Jay's music video if he promised to make a donation to her institute, the Marina Abramovich Institute, which presents and supports performance art at a global scale. But after the music video was released, Marina told Spike magazine that the collaboration with Jay-Z was a one-way transaction and that she felt used. At the time, Marina claimed that Jay-Z never made the donation he promised to make to her institute, but it was later clarified by an art dealer and producer from the music video that Jay-Z actually made a very large donation to the institute. She even had receipts that proved Jay-Z had given a substantial donation. The Marina Abramovich Institute later admitted that they failed to inform Marina of the donation that Jay-Z made. They put out a press release apologizing to both Marina and Jay. The statement said Marina Abramovich was not informed of Sean Jay-Z Carter's donation from 2 years ago. We are sincerely sorry to both Marina Abramovich and Sean Jay-Z Carter for this, and since then we have taken two appropriate actions to reconcile this matter. Let me know your thoughts down below and follow me for more pop culture news. In 2013,
Let's look at another one, right? Let's look at another Marina Abramovich or whatever her name is. Let's look at another one, right?
What is this weird, creepy video of a...
Let's look at another one. Look.
Remember when Jay-Z was spirit cooking with Marina Abramovich and everybody was trying to figure out who this lady was? She's been around the industry for a minute. She's 78 years old, and she's a high priestess, an artist, whatever. But I'm sorry, cutting yourself and having people trying to unalive you as art is not art. This is the same lady that said that she drinks BLOOD and men's marshmallow cream. Remember that? She's the same lady that follows Arista Crowley, the Do What That Will guy, the other high priestess that Jay-Z follows. Remember when he had to Do What That Will on his hoodie in the Run This Town video? Yeah, that's the same lady. Look at her. You mean to tell me this lady's 78 years old? Adrenochrome, y'all. Like, look up adrenochrome. Look at this lady. She looks like she eats chocolate hands and black hands. If you know what I mean. Remember that episode of Atlanta when they was over in Europe? I think it was in Belgium or something like that. And Vanessa Van...
So that's what I mean when I say, like, yeah, walk through the door. These is things, again, these is things like, niggas ain't asking these questions, bro. Nobody didn't want to know this question. Nobody didn't want to know. Let's look at something else with Shorty. Now that we see Jay-Z in the same video, she and Jay-Z video, they head to head. They dancing and it's just Picasso, baby. They having a good old motherfucking time. Let's look at something else. Let's look at something else from this lady. Let's look at something else from this lady real quick. Let's see. So Jay, as much as I used to hate to have to admit it, Jay is of them people, spirit cooking, spirit. Yeah, there you go. Let's see this. Let's look at one of these videos from this. Let's look at this.
Marina Abramovich, the spirit cooker. This is her performance piece where she wrote all of this out using bodily fluid ingredients. And by that, I mean all bodily fluids. Spirit cooking. And you find all those celebrities eating the spirit cooking. Marina Abramovich, the spirit cooker. And they're all there. They're almost flattered to be invited. Another thing that's very important, this model, this was his last job. He went missing and was found in the desert. Missing pieces. This is a painting that Marina did called the Energy Blanket. They tried to say that it was showing meridian points and chakras, but tell me what that looks like to you, because to me that looks like something totally different. Yum, yum, yum. Eat it all up.
Look at that shit. That's nasty as hell.
That looks like something totally different. Yum.
Look at this shit. These motherfuckers drink. They drink it. Look what they doing. Spirit cooking.
Yum, yum. Eat it all up. And now you know. Marina Abramovich.
So my point is, Jay definitely, look at this shit right here. I'm gonna show you this shit now. Motherfucking crazy. Look at this bitch, crazy. It's a wild bitch. It's a nasty bitch. Look at this nasty bitch. Jay-Z, you should be ashamed of your goddamn self, boy. I know how you got that money, boy. Oh, Jay-Z, we know how you got the money. Go ahead and talk to them. Look at this shit here. Look at this shit right here. Look at this. Look. Just the same lady in the Picasso video now. Let's make sure we know. I see. I'm just saying. I actually don't know. I'm just saying though. All right. So again, we get these interviews where, you know, these scripted interviews where they lining the questions up and it look good and it sound good and it feel good and yeah, you know, morality this and morality that, but you know, behind closed doors, it is what it is and it'll be what it's gonna be. All right, big salute to the chat. We gonna lock in. Shit, I gotta get up early tomorrow. I got some business to handle. We'll lock in tomorrow. We'll definitely do what we do. We'll definitely lock in tomorrow for sure, though. All right, so you already know what time it is, man. It's your boy, Grown Man Business TV. You feel what I'm saying? Now, listen, man, you can tap in, you can tap out, but you know my slogan. You know what I suggest. And I suggest you tap in. Listen, I suggest you tap into this Grown Man Business. I suggest you tap into this Grown Man content. You already know what it is. Straight off the brick, directly into the bottles. Straight off the brick, directly into the bottles. Straight, raw, pure, uncut, no extras, no preservatives. We not sugarcoating nothing. We not dressing nothing up. I'm only here to give you that game straight, pure dope, my G. No fentanyl, no baking soda, no quad. Nah, we ain't water whipping that dope and we ain't counter whipping that dope. Straight off the brick into the bottles. All right. Now, everybody wanted me to speak on the Jay-Z situation. There it is. We had a little fun with it, but I gave you that pure dope straight off the brick into the bottles. Nothing more, nothing less. You could like it or you could love it. All right. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you are locked in with the realest channel on YouTube, Grown Man Business TV, yours truly. Yeah, it ain't no other trap house in these YouTube streets like mine's. This is the purest you gonna get, all right? And we gonna have some conversations, and I'm glad I got that out. You know, like it or love it, man, Jay made it. He made it out the urban community. He made it to the highest level. He made it to the pinnacle, you know? It's just a trail that he left behind him. That's the problem. It's just the things that he had to do that is the issue. Things that wasn't spoke about in this interview. You know, I don't mind being the bearer of bad news. I don't mind dissecting this video and then giving that pure game up. All right? Is what it is and it'll be what it's going to be. You already know what time it is, man. It's your boy, Grown Man Business TV. You feel what I'm saying? Now, listen, you can tap in, you can tap out, but you know my slogan. You know what I suggest. And I suggest you tap in. Gang.